So the next concept I want us to look is the React router. And what is a React router? So a router is a library that provides you with the routing capability for React apps. So the keyword routing means navigating. So it means navigation between different views or different pages. For example, in this app of ours, you can see that we have the links on the top header here. And now when a user clicks on contact us, or when they click on about us, or when they click on support us, we need to be able to navigate them to that page. Alright, so I want to assume that there are different pages which are, when the user clicks on this link, they are able to go to that page. And for us to be able to navigate from one page to another, we must use the React router. This is the same as using of the link in HTML. So when you are writing HTML, for you to be able to create a link between one page or another, or even between one website and the other website, you must use the anchor element, which is the A tag. So in React, instead of using this, the alternative for this is the router. And for us to be able to create this routing between one page and the other, we need to follow these steps here. So the first step, you must make sure that you install that library called the router, and the command to install it is this. So you need to run the command npm install react router DOM in your terminal. And then after it is installed successfully, you want to be able to create multiple components that represents the different views or the different pages. Let's say now we have 3 navigation links here, so we can have 3 pages, one page for the contact, the other page for the about us, the other page for the support us. Alright, so once we create the 3 components, then now we can create the links. We can now create the links or the routes to link between them. So we now have to import these links, and then now we create the actual links between them. So let us start by following these steps one by one and see if we are able to create these links successfully. So the first step is to install the router library, which we will do it by navigating to the terminal, or already we are here in the terminal. So let me just close the project, or even I can open a new terminal here. Then we want to make sure that we have run the command npm install react router. Let me copy it the way it is here. And then press enter. And your computer must be connected online so that it can be able to download that library into your project. So it takes some few minutes and seconds rather, and it will download that library and add it to the package.json. So now when you go to your package.json, you should be able to see that we have added a new library called the React router. Where am I not seeing it here? Let me close and open it again. Or rather, let me be within the project directory, cd to block up and then run the command again, npm install react router DOM. So it takes some few seconds. Alright, so it runs successfully. Let me check if it is within the package.json. Yeah, now here it appears here. So after you've installed it, you can see in your package.json file, we have a new library which has been added, React Router DOM version 7.8.2. So anytime you add a new library, or you download a new library, or you install a new library, it will always be added in this package.json file. Alright, now after installing it, the next concept is, let us create multiple components to represent the multiple pages. Alright, so I'm going to create the page for contact us, the page for support us, and also the page for about us. And to be able to create the components, we just head over to this. Let me close this, close this, close this. So we go within the CRC, right click there and click new file. So this file I'm going to call it contact page dot js. So I press enter. So in the contact page.js, I'm just going to add a basic paragraph or header that will show that we are in contact page. So I'm going to write one function component and call it contact. Then this function does not take any arguments or props. Then I'm going to return a symbol HTML that I'm going to return a symbol HTML within the div. So we have the top level element, which is the div. Then within this div, I'm going to return header 1, which says contact details, and then I'm going to add one address, and inside this address I'm going to put maybe a phone number 08 or any random number, and I'm also going to put an email, maybe sam@gmail.com. I'm also going to put maybe a physical location, and they say location to be maybe Kakuma 1. So these are just a basic information on the contact page. Then after we've created this component, you must always remember to export it. So we do export default contact. Alright, so I'm going to create another page for the about us. So I'm going to give it the name about page. app.js, and I'm going to copy the same code that is inside here so that to shorten on time. I'm going to paste it here, but now I want to change the content, so I'm going to call this one about, and here I'm going to say learn more about us. And I'm going to remove this address. Instead, I want to add one paragraph. And then we say we take pride in socializing. For example, is the spelling for socializing? Yeah, right there. So we just have one paragraph. Then after that, we must remember to also export. So we are exporting default about. Then lastly, let us create the third page, which is support us. Within the CRC, I right click and create another file, call it support page dot js javascript, and here I'm also going to add a simple function called support, and then return a symbol HTML within the top div element, and then I'm going to add one header, or even let me use header 2. We have used header 1 so much, and here I'm going to say send your donation or support to the account below. Then here below I'm going to provide a one paragraph with the account number, maybe that is the account number. Then I'm going to save. Then I'm going to export default support. So we are exporting that component so that we can be able to import it. So now we have created the three pages: contact page, about page, support page. Yes, Ochari?
I was asking why have you used H2 instead of H1?
Oh, why have I used H2 instead of H1? So normally we have heading levels, right, starting from H1 all the way to H2, I mean H6. So we can use any of the headings as depending on your desire. So if you choose to use heading 1, you can use heading 1 or heading 2 or heading 3 up to heading 6. The only difference between them is the size in the boldness. So the bold size
Okay. Yeah.
is
Okay.
different.
All right.
Yes. So now after we've created the three pages, we can look at the next step, which is we must import these three pages or the three components in our main app component. So you remember when you create a new React app, it will generate for you one component called the app.js. So this app.js component, it is the main component within your application. So you can come in this app component and import the other components. So we are going to import I'm going to import these three components. First, I import contact from contact page, so you can see it comes automatically. Then I'm also going to import about from about page. Then lastly, I'm going to import support from support page. So I've imported the three components in this main app component. And now what I want us to do is to remove this content that is inside here in the app component. So I want to remove this. Alright. And I want to return these components within the app component. So we are done with this step of importing. The next thing we want to do is to make sure that we wrap our app component using this tag. So there is this tag called the browser router, and I want to navigate over to this one here. So we have imported all the components inside here. So the next thing I want us to import is we import this library called the browser router. We also import the routes, we import the route link, and then we import the link. So here in the app component, let us add another import statement called import browser router. We import the link, then we import the route, then we import the routes, and all these we are importing them from React Router DOM. So this router and these routes are the ones that will be able to help us to create the links or the routing between one page and the other. All right. Okay. Then after we've done that, we now configure the routes. And how do we configure the routes? I want us to focus on this section of code. So we will use the route within the app component here in the return statement. So here we want to use this tag called the browser router. Then within the browser router, we create a route so we have routes, and then within the routes we add the route for each of the component. So we are going to say route this is the one here. Then we are going to provide the path, and we're going to say when the path is slash home or when the path is slash about, then navigate the element to be displayed should be should be equivalent to let me just copy this one line of code and then we can duplicate it. So what we are saying here is that when the path is slash, let me alter it here. So when the path is slash about, then display the about component. All right. And then the same thing, we can add another route here, and we say when the path is slash conduct, then display the conduct component, and then when the path is slash support, then display the support component. So we have configured this one here. So after adding these configurations, then we need to go to the navbar. So let me open the navbar, which contains the actual links. And in this navbar, I'm going to provide some basic links here. So instead of using this link, we are going to use the browser, not the browser link, but rather the React router link. All right. So I'm coming here and I want to make sure that I import that link. So let me copy this import statement. We come in the navigation bar and make sure that I import the link. So the browser router is not important here. We can remove it. And even this one here is not important. So what is important here, we need to import another thing called the outlet. Then inside here, we are going to use the link tag, which is demonstrated like this one here. So we have a link. So I'm going to use this link. So when we have this link tag, we provide the two attribute, and we're saying that when the path is slash about, then inside here we type about, or you can even use props dot link 1, then we copy this again and we say props dot link 2, so this one is conduct about, and then conduct, the first one is conduct, and then the second one is about, then we can have the third slash support. All right, so let me remove this. I can even add the style to them. So before I remove, let me copy this style, then I remove this section, or even comment it out, or let me add the style. Then now in the index, let's see which file is being displayed. So we display the app instead of the home. Then in the app, so we have slash navbar. So let's import the navbar inside here. Import. May copy the navbar import statement here and put it within. So here we are displaying the nav. And we provide the three properties or the two properties. About us and contact us. So now when you save, let me run the program again. The command npm start, and so it asks me if I want to pause the running program already. Type yes. So it is taking some time to load. Oh, wow. And we see here some lots of errors. So let's troubleshoot to see where the error is. So it says here in the app.js identifier routes has already been declared. Okay, so we go to the app routes, I mean the app component, and I think I'm declaring routes twice, so let me remove one here and save again. So it's compiling, and now here we have our app displayed here. So when I click on here on this link, you can see the relevant content is displayed here. So it's like now we are in the contact page. When I click on about, we have the about page content displayed here. When I click on support, you have the relevant support content displayed below here. And when you check on the URL up here, you can see even the URL, the path changes. So when I click on contact, the path changes to contact. I click on about, the path changes to about. So that's how you configure navigation using the React Router library. So I'll pause here. I know the lesson has been so long and together with the code. Maybe you just digest and then ask if you have not understood somewhere so that I can clarify. Any point where you have not understood? Hello, hello. Hello, Ochari and Sam.
Uh, so on the part of navigating those navigation bar,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the last part is complicated, but we just share the video. We'll go through it again then.
All right,
Yeah, just the last bit of it.
all
It
right.
was actually more complicated, but I hope we're gonna understand it on our own, maybe through the video.
Yes. Yeah, so that's all about creating a React router. And I would like us to pause it here so that I can share the video. And then when we meet tomorrow, we can revise it a bit before we can proceed to the next lesson. So in the meantime, as you go, your next assignment now should be after you've created the React app, you can now create multiple pages and then try to link them together so that you're able to click on one link and you are able to view the other page. So let me pause this video clip.